All right, everybody, welcome to Afternoon Market Action. My name is Glenn.
My name is Ryan. Welcome to the channel.
And we are going to tell you some stuff today. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. The big thing is Nvidia news. And there's a scary thing about it. The scary thing is that it looks like the market is putting all their eggs in the one basket. The market is moving up today in anticipation of earnings for Nvidia. By the way, if you can hear us, let us know in the chat, preferably with VV Nation, and let us know that we are coming across loud and clear. Now, the other good side of it is that Ryan's got some news. What are you going to do today, Ryan?
Well, later this afternoon, we are going to do a live stream actually covering NVIDIA's earnings. We're going to listen to the earnings call, go over the chart, see what VectorVest has to say, and really just see the response from the investors, once they release that information. I would be at no surprise that they beat earnings, beat revenue, but I think if there is any, negative action in the stock, it's going to be from, any kind of forecast or anything negative said that's in the in the earnings call itself. So we'll see. I'm interested. I know the Qs are up quite a bit today, and the Nasdaq's up almost 2%. So a lot of buying pressure there with tech. This earnings call is really going to see if this AI has any room to keep growing. As it has the first half of the year. It's kind of put on the brakes in the last month or so. So the technicals are getting a little bit healthier. They were overbought there for the most part in a lot of those companies. But this is really going to make or break tech going forward in the next couple of days. And then on Friday, we got Jackson Hole. The Fed's going to be speaking Friday. So me personally, just kind of wait till the dust settles and gather in and see what's going on next week.
Interesting. William says Kathy Woods bought shares of RXRX yesterday through her ARC-G ETF. I wonder where she got that stock from yesterday. I wonder where she got that stock from. And it just happened to have been that she picked it up yesterday.
So I take it's a biotech company?
It's a biotech company that Uncle Glenn pointed out to VV Nation yesterday. Man, and then we had somebody, looks like they copied one of our thumbs. I'm not calling out no names. The same day we put out a thumb, and Joey, I think we're getting seen by people, and people are looking at us and picking up what we're putting down. I do too. I like it too. All right. So today, not only is my back hurting, but I got like a big headache too. So I'm going to still bring the energy as best I can, but Ryan's going to have to pick up for me. Can you handle that, Ryan?
Oh, yeah. Yeehaw. I got this. Oh, boy. Too much energy.
That scares the hell out of me. All right. With that, let's talk about what's going on in the market. I'm going to go to market timing graph. And there we go. There we go. There's the market timing graph. Look at that. All of that. Somebody, Daniel put hopium. All that hopium is on all of this. Look at that. Trading at session highs today. No wick at the top. The 3 and the 8. I talked about this on Monday. I said that I still felt that nothing was telling us to be bullish, but I saw that the market stopped going down, possibly finding a level of support. The MTI and buy to sell ratio didn't quite get to the levels of being oversold, but visibly I could see that the market was rebounding, and that's what we got going on right now. That was on Friday. Here's Monday, Tuesday, and today. All right, so I got you guys prepared for either way, but I did say that before you pull the trigger to the upside, make sure that we get a primary wave up first. Can I help you?
We do have a primary wave up, Glenn.
Huh?
Yeah, we got a primary wave up in the color guard right now. It hasn't been confirmed yet,
really?
But it did go up recently.
Let's go look at the homepage real quick. I didn't even notice that. There it is. Primary wave is up. Look at that. Uncle Glenn had you ready either way and explained to you why I was looking at both sides of the market. How many of you watch the Monday videos about the top weekly picks? Type a 1 in the room. All right. How many of you watch the top weekly picks? Type a 1 in the room. And I do it for the U.S., Canada, and for Australia. Why would you sell Yang and bear ETFs? Edward, I'd be careful. I still own Yang. But I'm just waiting for it to hit my stop. I'm still bearish on China. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. All the news that I see is still icky coming out on China. Ryan, do you agree with that?
I definitely do. It's actually going to be my watch list for this week's picks is Yang, and I got a short XPeng. I got some articles related to that, but last week, I mean, the economic data coming out of China was so bad where they actually stopped releasing the data. So now we're kind of, in the dark, and so are investors. I really think that's going to take a toll on the market as a whole when it comes to China.
There you go.
Did you hear about that, Glenn?
Yeah. You're talking about not only the economic stuff, but the developer people, a couple of them.
Correct. And I think some of it had some of the data covered up was the employment data that they stopped releasing.
Yes. And they and then
in particular, I think the lower or the younger generation, some of those numbers aren't going to be released anymore. So we'll see how that goes. Again, China is not necessarily it's not a free market per se. It's still a communist country. So we are getting reminded by that anytime, the party in power can make, big changes and subtle changes like that.
And whenever they want, can't nobody say nothing about it.
Correct.
Francisco has he's telling me he's got a crystal ball. Francisco says we should have bottom fishing Friday. Why? Because I can visibly now, hindsight is 2020, I can see that, oh man, now the market looks like it's bottoming out. I already talked about that. There was nothing to tell me to go bottom fishing on Friday. Do you agree or not agree? Type it in the room. Do you agree or not agree? That was way too early for me to jump up and say, it's time to bottom fish. And now you look and you sit back and you go, oh, we should have done that on Friday. For what reason? There was nothing that tells me right then and there that it was time to bottom fish. There was nothing, not yet. And
again, the market's being led by tech right now, and most of that is just hype from Nvidia's earnings. So if you're not in bullish or bearish positions, me personally, I'm going to wait till the dust settles between Nvidia. I mean, they could ruin the party per se when it comes to AI and tech real quick this afternoon, or they could keep it going. Along with that, and with the the announcement, the Fed announcement coming out Friday, I'm in the opinion, if you're not already in positions, unless you're gonna, maybe play some volatility through some options, buying or shorting, just in particular stocks, I'm in the position where I'm gonna wait till early next week. Wait till the dust settles, get a clear sense of direction, and go from there. Like you say, Glenn, let the market come to me.
Absolutely.
Don't be rushing the market. Let it come to me. We don't even have a green light in the price column right now.
And Fitz says that the stochastics turn. It did. It absolutely did. Was that enough? All right. Was that enough? That's all I got to say about that. All right. So that's what's going on in the market. Big anticipation of Nvidia news. SMCI, I wrote it down. That's going to be one of the stocks that we're going to look at on your list today. So we'll keep our eyes on that. I took my profits on SMCI a long time ago. But I did pick up, like I said, I did pick up some Yang. It hasn't hit my stop yet. Today is a good day to keep your eyes on any of those leverage contra ETFs that you're holding. I do not see the primary wave up on the mobile app because it's not there yet, unless you got real time. And I can't log into it because it'll kick me out of this one. It probably does not update until the end of the night unless... I got real time. I don't know if it flashes real time on the mobile app. I don't know that. I don't know that for 100%. All right. So that's what we're looking at. Let's talk about the news moving the market. And here we go. We're going to start with Jerome Powell. So I always just try to put some stuff that's going on from an economic standpoint. The U.S. economy is powered ahead despite the Fed's hike. So, will Jerome Powell be forced to keep interest rates higher for longer to tame inflation? And I think that if an economy is still growing, that's still most likely or still more is inflationary. People are going to spend money, more money, prices go up higher, blah, blah, blah. I think that Ryan and I both agree that we'll at least get one more rate increase before the end of the year. But if the economy keeps running, if the economy keeps going, he might not have any other choice but to keep raising interest rates going into the end of the year. We'll see. All right, so that's the only economic news that I have. Ryan, I put this one in for you, and you can talk about it.
Okay. So yesterday I was looking at topics to talk about in tonight's YouTube video at 6 p.m. and I came across Macy's earnings. The stock actually beat its revenue and expected EPS. However, it beat its sales and expected EPS. However, its revenue fell year over year. And from the earnings call itself, the CEO even talked about the strained, inflationary pressures on the consumer, where they're looking for value. And literally quoted said they were under quite a bit of pressure. So I'm actually doing a video tonight being bearish on retail. So when you get a chance, definitely check it out. But ultimately, coming from that earnings call and just seeing the environment that we're in right now, luxury goods, consumer discretionary spending. I mean, it is going to be strained, if not more than the first half of the year, but I would assume probably higher in the second half of the year. But one thing I definitely thought was interesting from Macy's earnings call, one of their biggest revenue shocks was actually from their credit cards. Their revenue from their credit cards, and I think it was down $84 million year over year, if I remember correctly.
Is that because people are maxing out their credit cards?
Well, they actually did talk about delinquencies. Delinquencies are up as well when it comes to their credit cards. So yeah, they're probably either maxed out, stretched out, or, like they said, they're having issues with delinquencies. Consumers with inflation right now, they want value. They want the best prices. One of the ETFs that's actually going to be mentioned in tonight's video, and it's on the list for today, is EMTY, EMTY. It's a contra ETF to hedge brick and mortar retail. Because I think, as far as, from a company aspect, some of the higher cost of these brick and mortar companies are affecting their bottom dollar, and they're competing with a lot of online shoppers and e-commerce right now. It's not just my opinion, but the opinion of many, where commercial real estate has been under pressure, especially since COVID, whether it's office or, general brick and mortar. So with the current market pullback, I know it's an updated day, but, generally speaking, definitely bearish on, the retail sector. So there are some stocks and ETFs coming out in that video tonight at 6 p.m. So definitely, watch it if you're interested in seeing how you can make some money potentially from all this.
And I'm going to back that up with your next story on Nvidia.
All right. Yeah. So Nvidia, they release earnings today. The earnings call, from what we saw yesterday, is supposed to be at 5 p.m. So we're doing a live stream at 4:45. I mean, this has really been the big player. This is almost becoming a household name as far as, in the AI space. So their earnings call, in my opinion, is really going to make or break, the tech and, the NASDAQ in particular, especially the Qs, if you play those quite a bit. So, I'm not too necessarily worried about the earnings. I think there will definitely be expectations there, but a lot of investors are going to be honing in on certain things that are said and spoke about when it comes to this or tonight's earnings call. And the market's going to react to. I saw an article earlier today. As far as options traders, they're expecting 11% volatility, whether it's up or down.
Wow.
So, I mean, stocks, what? Just over $400, so maybe, $40, $45 swing in either direction, potentially, according to, that article and what the options traders are expecting. Whether that's, if that's up, obviously, this bull run that we've had, over the last several months, really since the beginning of the year, it might continue to go. But if that earnings call is a break and that stock goes down, say 40 points, I think that could, the party could be ending sooner than later. But that's what I said, and I expect volatility over the next, between this evening and tomorrow with this position. If it does take a dip, people are going to try to get into that dip. Others, probably shredding some profits, since the stock is up, 300%, roughly guessing since the beginning of the year.
It's been up a lot.
So I wouldn't be surprised if, people are protecting profits. But again, we're going to take a look at that earnings call, dive in and really hone in and see listen to what is being said, as far as, forecast, space in the AI competition, because, Nvidia right now, they're leading the charge, but there's, big money pouring into this field. How long can they keep that leadership up when it comes to their graphic cards, their GPUs, and their semis? Other big players, AMD, Microsoft, Intel. Intel is definitely behind the curve when it comes to the others, but there's a lot of people in this space that are trying to catch up to Nvidia. So we're going to see, if some market share has been taken away, but as well, the two big aspects when it comes to Nvidia is not only the data centers, but also if we look at consumers, the office laptops, back to school shopping, things of that nature. The back to school is not going to be reported in this earnings. That'll be next earnings. But, is the average consumer, is there still big demand there? Are there wanes in their demand? But as far as the cloud computing and the AI, I think that will definitely still be substantial and continue to grow. But I do think there will be some softness when it comes to individual consumer demand.
So I brought up your list. There's Nvidia. I added SMCI. I think that it's moving up on the same news from Nvidia. So someone asked to see SMCI. Nice move on it. And then here's your other one, EMTY, for the retailers. Little bump in that one as well today. But Nvidia and SMCI both on the rise today. SMCI, though, is undervalued, fundamentally sound, and earnings growth rate of 36%. Nvidia, which I've liked specifically because of price action, way overvalued, still fundamentally sound. RT pushing it higher because of the buzz behind it, but doesn't grow their earnings nearly as well. Almost SMCI almost closed their earnings twice the amount as Nvidia. So I still like SMCI. I took my profits on it. But nice move on it today. If you're still in it, this is probably recovering some of the losses that you've had. You should have been out of it a long time ago, or should have had half off the table a long time ago.
I mean,
would I take my profits today?
Did you?
No, I took my profits last week.
Glenn, I'm going to say this. Nvidia is to semiconductors that Tesla is to EVs.
I agree with that.
They've been overvalued, but they're the household name. A lot of people know them. A lot of people are interested in investing in them. Do I believe Nvidia is overvalued? Yeah, probably so. A lot of the AI hype has pushed it to overvalued territory. It's almost twice its value right now. If you're a value shopper and you're looking for the deal, SMCI, probably the route to go.
Question was, I have a query. Was Friday the bottom since we were in a primary wave up? Actually, by going back in time and being able to see, that's potentially the bottom. Happened on 8/18. Absolutely. Looks like that could have been the bottom, but anything could still happen. We got a primary wave up. Well, then that means we probably got some more upside, at least to the level of either one of these levels of resistance. But now, with the data that is already available, that potentially is the bottom from this most recent pullback. All right. So those were Ryan's first few stocks. I wanted to take a look at them. We did add SMCI to the list because there was some questions about it. All right. I'm going to go to the next two stories are mine. So now I'm going to piggyback off of Ryan's story. And it says Nvidia is dominating the AI chip space, but it's not the only AI play. This story talks about Applied Material and Synopsys. If I go down, there's Nvidia. There it is. Applied Materials sees most of its demand for AI in its future. The largest manufacturer of chip making equipment. So in order to make the chips, you got to have the equipment, right? last week reported earnings saying equipment for AI now accounts for 5% of its total sales. That's huge. All right, add that in with Nvidia. Scroll down, and where was the other story? SNPS. I lost it. Sigh. Oh, there it is. Synopsys last week reported third quarter revenue rose by 9%, and forecast fourth quarter earnings that beat analyst estimates earlier in the week. It announced a new contract with Intel to develop intellectual property for the company's new factories, which will increasingly involve AI. So I'm going to ride that bandwagon of Nvidia, and I'm going to go to my list, and I'm going to look at Applied Materials and Synopsys. Look at that.
Okay.
Out of my 9 stocks in here, it's in the top 3 of VST. Both of them are overvalued. Synopsys, though, seems like a better play, being that it's fundamentally sound with relative value, relative safety, both above 1, and earnings growth rate of 19. Applied Material overvalued. Relative value is not there, but the safety is there, which means they make money, but their earnings growth is -4. So if I'm looking at, trying to ride the coattails of Nvidia, Synopsys might be the better play, even though Applied Material makes the equipment, just not rocking and rolling about that. What's about Neo? This be at least, I'll write that down. It's one of your 10 stocks that we'll look at today. All right. So 2 other stocks to add to that list. And my next story is on oil. OPEC mid-month update. Saudi Arabia and Russia are serious on reducing supplies. Now, Ryan and I both keep saying oil's going to rise, and it just hasn't really truly come to us just quite yet. I still own either USO. I think I own both USO and WTI. All right. But the more stories that I see on if the supplies are going to continue to go down and the demand is not changing, oil prices are going to have to go up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I got a follow-up story to this in a second as well. So as I go back to my list, I got USO in here down today. But it does have an RT above 1. It's an ETF, so RV and RS are going to both be at the same. And that's all I got. I just got the stories. And now, not only that, hurricane season is here. All it takes is for one of those rigs, offshore drilling facilities, to get hit by a tropical storm or a hurricane that's going to bring more woes to the oil picture. So I'm still bullish on oil, a little down today, but the news is backing me up that keep your eyes on oil. Go ahead.
Speaking of hurricanes, I was going to say, California got its first hurricane in over 80 years?
80 some odd years, yeah. No, it was actually, it didn't come in as a hurricane. It came in as a tropical storm. By the time it hit land, it still came in as a tropical storm. Okay. Yeah, but nonetheless, California got hit by some kind of tropical anything in the last 80 some odd years is huge. So, and now it's not even the hurricane or the tropical storm part of it, it's the rain part of it. They're getting...
Well, we got Hurricane Franklin or Tropical Storm Franklin coming across the Caribbean right now.
Yeah, the news that I keep saying is that it's not gonna be big as far as an effect from that. We'll see.
Yeah,
that's what they say. Anything can happen.
Especially with the weather channel.
Absolutely, anything can happen.
That's more unpredictable than the stocks.
Sometimes they hit it, but not many times. All right, so I'm still bullish on oil. It's in my list today. Next story about XPeng. Talk about it.
Let me pull that one up real quick.
It's on the screen.
All right. So this, to build on what I feel is going to be weakness in China, we see XPeng, their shares drop 7% after they recorded a record loss, essentially. Now, the Chinese car maker troubles continued. This was Friday, showing a wider than expected loss in the second quarter. Now that loss was 2.7 billion yen that they lost in the last quarter. So this will actually
the
be
yen.
biggest.
The yen is in Japan. It's the yuan.
What is it?
Yuan, not yawn. It's yuan. You want to be all southern and be like yawn. It's not yawn. It's the yuan.
Well, this is their biggest loss posted since going public back in I think it was August, actually. Yeah, August 2020.
Yep.
So yeah, there it is right there. See here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going short with them on this. Not only the market going down, well, not so much today, but with weakness in the Chinese economy and this article here, I'll actually be going short on this for the next week. This is my weekly pick here.
Right, and that was is that your Yang play?
So I did Yang.
Yeah. All right, so that's your Yang play, right?
No, I did XPeng.
Oh, all right, never mind. There's XPeng. It's up today. One day doesn't make a trend. One day doesn't make a trend.
No, but like I said, most tech is up today. Everything is riding on this Nvidia's earnings. There's a lot of hype right now. But look at what I like about it from a short aspect. Look at the fundamentals. RV and RS 0.49, 0.65. The only thing that right now from a technical standpoint that is in a bullish favor right now, that short-term price trend is up. Let's take a look at the GRT 1. So, not nothing too great there. I mean, it is positive, but ultimately, this is really coming from, the data coming out of China. And actually, I did send you an article, Glenn, on the Chinese economy. If you want to just...
Oh, that's in the list. I just haven't gotten there yet. That's the one you want. I can go to that story. It's in the, which is right here. It's behind a paywall. That's great.
But yeah, pretty much what I was, what we had talked about earlier with China not being, not releasing a lot of this economic data since, was it last week? This article just touched on that, that they needed to be more transparent. So, this shows more of a tie. This is a very interesting time that, because they're supposed to be a open economy, a free market economy. But like I said before, they're a communist country, so they can do things such as this. So I have a feeling this is going to, if they're really stopping the data, is it that bad? And the other thing to take is, if they're stopping the data, how does that make investors feel? Pouring money into this country. So between the two, that's why I'm short XPeng and doing Yang. Just shorting the Chinese economy as a whole.
All right. Next story is a little bit back up to. A little bit back up to what the flying
they love those little wall breakers.
All right, anyway, I'm about to punch this thing in its face. It is about Cheniere Energy, Cheniere LNG, that it has diminished. Tropical storm Harold made landfall Tuesday in Padre Island, Texas, about 50 miles south of Corpus Christi, according to U.S. It's diminishing. It's lessening because of what's going on. So I told you I had a backup to the oil side of it, right? So this is on liquid natural gas, all right? And from that perspective, if that's being affected by these storms, what do you think oil is going to be affected by these storms? So I'm looking at, I'm bullish on LNG because the demand is not going to diminish, but the price is going to definitely rise, just like on oil. So Cheniere Energy, for the LNG being affected by the storms, I think that's going to push the price of natural gas up. Sigh. I hate that just happened. So in my list, I've got LNG. I'm bullish on it. I am bullish on it. It's down today, but I am bullish on it. We'll keep our eyes on it. Fundamentally sound, going up. Earnings growth at 22%. earnings per share. And if it's being affected by the storms, and it's undervalued, if it's being affected by the storms, I think the price of it definitely is going to go up. Now, someone asked about Macy's. Akshaya, you asked about Macy's. Ryan's doing his video tonight. Excuse me. Looking at Macy's. You don't want to miss that. It's 6 p.m. tonight. You don't want to miss that. It's going to go into a lot more deeper detail in regards to Macy's. So Akshaya, watch that tonight. And Akshaya,
in just regards to your question, so when I was doing some research on Macy's, they are planning on, and actually already in the works of opening these smaller retail locations instead of these larger big box stores. I didn't really touch too much on that in particular in the video itself. But yeah, I am aware of what you're speaking of. And honestly, it's probably a good thing to go small, honestly, to just, lower cost, because if they're trying to compete with some of these e-commerce brands, trying to get pricing down, they have to be smarter with their money. I think, do they really need these 2-story locations and malls? I mean, I don't even remember the last time I've even been to a mall.
Me either.
I don't know. When's the last time you've been to a mall?
I haven't been to a mall in forever.
I mean, it was definitely before COVID for me.
And you remember it was a time you say on Saturdays, "Oh, let's go to the mall and spend the day at the mall." Nobody cares anymore. No. Question about, are you keeping your contra overnight? Mind you, I've got stops on my contras. So yes, I'm holding them overnight. If they hit my stops, I'll get out. And would get an Nvidia put, since the guidance is important. You know something? I think that there's going to be a big swing in either direction based on it. And then tomorrow it'll settle out. The big thing is, what is going to be the forward guidance? What are they going to say? And I think that with AI and what they do, I think the forward guidance should be strong. I'm speculating. But Ryan's going to be on with the call tonight as it comes out, and you get to analyze that. You don't want to miss that. Support that this evening as we do the earnings call live. No, 10%. Mind you, I got 10% as far as
the earnings call. They're supposed to start at 5 p.m. We're going to start the live stream at 4:45. Okay. Kind of get everyone time to get into the room and just, get everyone's opinions and thoughts on what could potentially happen from this call.
Here we go. All right. I'm going to punch this thing in the face. All right. I'm still bearish on Tesla right now, short term. I'm short term still bearish on Tesla with the pricing war they're going on with China. But Tesla's German plant lowest production target report says from 5,000 a week to 4,350. That's not a big drop in production, or is it? All right. So I think that they're already affecting the bottom line with the pricing war. Scroll down. The automaker has slashed prices several times in the U.S., China, and other markets since last year, and increased discounts and other incentives to reduce inventory. They're trying to sell the cars. All right. So right now it's all about selling. And the bottom line right now, be damned until he'll turn it back around again. I'm still short-term bearish on Tesla at this particular point in time. If you go look at my list, I'm with the TSLQ. All right, down today, up day in the market. This is a bearish on Tesla, which means Tesla's on the move today. That's fine. But I still think that overall in the background with what's going on with Tesla, I still like Tesla long term. I think it's a fundamentally sound stock. I just think that the tactics that he's taking right now to just sell the cars, it's going to affect the bottom line. So I'm still short-term bearish on Tesla. Still bearish on Target, says Edward. I didn't do Target. Did you do Target? Did you do Target or TJ Maxx last week?
I did TJ Maxx.
Okay.
But was bullish on it.
On TJ Maxx.
For the value play.
Okay. Would you call today a blast-off day? Not really. That's a big up candle, but when I'm looking at a blast-off, I'm looking at a blast-off. I'm looking at a big candle like that kind of candle. This is an up candle. And again, it's all predicated on Nvidia. When I can see a big up day, a big, look at that gap up, and that's more of a blast off day coming off that level of support. That's more of a blast off day. All of this is predicated on Nvidia. All right, so there we go. Tesla equity up today yeah, I know. And that's why my ETF, my Contra, is down today. All right, that's why it's down today. All right, you can't have a blast off on a lower average volume. Actually, I'm not even looking at volume right now. I can't look at it on the market timing graph. I can look at it on the VVC. I would have to put on the VVC. I can do that. VVC, now I can see, yikes. Now I can see the volume. Look at the same thing, the VectorVest composite. I still look at the same thing, but now
that is a good point. You do want high volume, see some conviction behind that move.
My volume is consistent. I got nothing. And so Dan, I'm not looking at that as lower average. That's pretty consistent with what has been going on. I still don't call this a blast off day just quite yet. I'm looking at a big move, a big jump. Even if we go, no, I'm not calling that a blast off day. I do look at it as follow through from coming off this level of support. That's what I do look at it as. I do look at it from that perspective. All right. And no, Daniel, I'm not going to look at the SPY. I want to use the software. I'm going to look at the VVC, which takes into effect the 500 stocks that are in the S&P 500. Remember, the VectorVest composite looks at over 9,000 stocks to include the $500 that are in the 500 stocks in the SPY. This is giving me a fuller picture. So that's the reason why I don't want to look at the SPY, Daniel. I ain't trying to, shut you down. I'm just saying that this is more encompassing than just 500 stocks. All right. Let's go back to the news. And the 3.8 hasn't crossed yet. I do. I still think we need a little wait. But my first thing that I said to see if the market was really starting to find the bottom was the primary wave. And if it closes today with the primary wave up, step one has been hit. Step one has been hit. All right. Next story. Peloton.
All right, so yeah, Peloton. Sorry, I'm just pulling this up right now. So I'm short this week for Peloton. Now, I don't know if you guys had noticed, Peloton's been under a lot of pressure. They had a recall. I think it was like over 1 million bikes, and they've just struggled ever since then. So now they did earnings recently, and then this number came out here. 20,000 members canceled subscriptions while waiting for, I guess, the recall or their new bike. I never really saw the hype in Peloton. I saw the advantage, back in the days of COVID when the gyms were closed and everything. I like the idea of the home gym, but with everything reopening now, I go to the gym quite often. I definitely see it's at capacity most days now. So I think people are, they're back outside their house. So I'm short on this company. I just don't think, as far as longevity, even look at the company itself. I know the RV and the RS. Yeah, if you pull it up, there we go. RV, which is that long-term price appreciation. It's at 0.17. It's RS 0.59. So very poor fundamentals. I mean, we only value the company at 72 cents and it's trading almost $6.
So let me answer a question though. Fitz says, when did you get short? We have been short on this stock for like ever. We put out stuff in the mail all over the place. Put us on 5 years. We've been short. Oh, that's the wrong stock.
I'm sure you don't want to go to short SMCI right now.
I wouldn't want to. This Peloton. Review the stock graph. We've been short on Peloton for like ever. Put on a 5-year graph. And VectorVest, look at that. VectorVest just has been talking about the shortness, the short side of Peloton for the longest time, Fitz. All the way from 2020 high until where it is right now. But yeah, it over the last, what is this, 3 years, 9 months, 28 days, we've been short all over this stock. This is not anything new. Ryan's picking up on it because, with more news behind it. But this stock has been crap stock that's the technical term, since 2020. Since 2000. And back at that time, what was the stock? Stock's price was trading at 171.
What was the value back then? Add value.
Let me go click on that.
Because I remember back in 2021, around that time frame, when the market was really hot, our value indicator would be under a lot of scrutiny.
Look at that.
Because you'd be like, see, this would be an example. A customer would call in, the stock's trading a couple $100. We value it at a fraction of that. And they're like, well, where are you getting your value from? Well, we're getting the value from what we actually feel the company is worth, looking at its intrinsic value, things such as, earnings, inflation, earning growth rates, not just hype behind, what's fashionable or what's hot in the market at that time. And we see time and time again, companies, tend to fall back down and meet value somewhere along the road.
It happens time and time again. And people always talk about us saying your stuff is not right, because how can it be valued like that, but it's trading like that? Who gives a flying flip? It's the intrinsic freaking value of the stock. We put math behind it, not just what people think. And that's what happens right there.
Tesla's one of my favorite examples. It was traded in, it got up to around $400. I know it had a couple splits, but it was around $400. We valued it just over 100. I think it was back in January, beginning this year, the first time Tesla went to be undervalued in years. That was your wake-up call. Yeah. Everyone was waiting on, get a good price on value. Well, it finally happened. The VectorVest system showed you, hey, we value, I think it was in the low 100s. But yeah, so as far as Peloton though, going back to tighter budgets, inflationary pressures, these bikes, I mean, they could go for like $1,600 plus.
I'm not spending that kind of, hell, I'll just go put my bike and put it on a little thing and just ride my own bike.
And then you got to pay for the monthly subscription. Yeah. So I don't think the price justifies it. It was kind of a COVID play. When the gyms were closed, yes, I could see why people were pouring into this position, because it was definitely a COVID play, back in the day. But in today's market scenario, just the world we're living in, getting beyond COVID, I think there's still some short potential here.
Okay. You talking about SOX L. Are you ready for SOX L, Akshaya? It'd be an early play. And
you're going triple leverage. Yeah, so whatever Nvidia is doing, you're going with it 3 times, whether you want to or not.
Hey, John, welcome back. I followed you around on your trip, man. It looked like you had an awesome time. So just wanted to shout you out. Last couple of stories. Another story behind this stupid freaking thing. What? I don't want to do that because it's going to put up my stuff. See? I
might have to sign up for a market screener. What account
No, it's
now?
not. I don't want them to be seeing my stuff. Go ahead, click that. See if that works.
John says he still loves his Peloton. I rode a Peloton.
You put it in French.
I'm not a small person. I just felt it was a little wobbly for my liking. But I'm 6'1", almost 220 pounds, so maybe I'm just a little too big for that bike. What are you guys doing over there?
Trying to mess with this behind the paywall thing that ain't working. So anyway, this was on Biotech. If you watch the video that I put out last night on the pharma stocks, not the farmer stocks, the pharma stocks, I'm going to give you a couple of other stocks. This is going to be a big mover when it comes down to COVID as well. And my other stock in here is, nope, not that one yet, but Biotech was in my list, should have been. Excuse me. BNTX. It was in my video last night, and BNTX at the bottom of the list, though. But keep your eyes on those stocks. So there's 2 other stocks that are in this space that I want to add on to last night's list. That's Johnson & Johnson and Regeneron. All right, as I go back to the story, They got money. Regeneron and Johnson & Johnson received millions to develop new COVID therapies. They got $326 million. I don't know who the hell Human Health System, I don't know what HHS is, to develop a next generation monoclonal antibody for COVID-19 prevention. You throw a whole lot of money behind that. The funding to both companies is part of HHS Project Next Gen, which is awarded more than $1.4 billion. The bulk of this money, $1 billion, is going to BARDA clinical trial partners to support vaccine studies. So all of this, and I just want you guys to be aware that COVID cases are going to rise. RSV is going to be big again this year. Are we going to talk about this as being pandemic level? No. As I stated in last night's video, I think it now becomes a part of our lives every year. COVID, the cold, the flu, pneumonia, all of that is wrapped up into seasonality and people getting sick. Why it doesn't go back to pandemic levels is because we have vaccines. All right, whether it's, for the flu, we got the flu vaccine, we got the pneumococcal pneumonia thingy, and then we got the COVID, and then we got vaccines for all of these things. That doesn't stop the cases from rising and people needing the vaccines. So I am looking at Regeneron, and I am looking at Johnson & Johnson, especially after they got the money to do more research. So those two are, and I'm bullish on those. Those two are on my list as well. All right, and I think we got one last story. Oh, banking crisis. This came out today. Why we may be only in the early stages of banking crisis. How many of you listen to your Uncle Glenn is making some money off of BNKD? I just type a 1 in the room. How many of you are making some money off of BNKD? Type a 1 in the room. I've been saying for the longest time that the other shoe has got to fall for the banks. The other shoe has got to fall for the banks. There's a lot of banks out there who haven't reported their losses because they were upside down on investments. Once it happens, folks, good googly muggly, good Gordon Gin, it's gonna be some badness. It's gonna be some ugliness. All right. I told you guys that I recently got out of my BNKD trade. I made about 15-16% on it. I'm waiting for another opportunity, waiting for another good update, another good opportunity. Let me go view the stock graph. Let's go put this on a 3-month graph. Now, the stock, for the most part, even though I got out, I probably got out early. Even though I got out, I took my profits off the table. I should have taken half off, but I took all of it off. I locked in all my profit. But now, where's it stopping? Right at the level of resistance, sitting at about 1282. Still running up. The 3 and the 8 are still solid. If you're in it, you're fine. If you're still in it, you're fine. But with this down day, I wouldn't say that it wouldn't be all right to take half off the table. All right, there you go. Greg says more house money on BNKD. He's playing with house money. Nothing wrong with that. Roger says, I bought BNKD on your recommendation. All right, it wasn't my recommendation, it was the software. And Greg says, my BNKD train keeps rolling. There you go. All right, so some of you are still in it. Again, I took my profits. Maybe should have just taken half off, but I took it all off. Today, with the down day and right at resistance, I wouldn't be mad at you if you took half off the table today. I wouldn't be mad if you took half off the table. Then you're playing with the house's money. All right, I think that was the last story in the list, right? But I do want to talk to you about one other thing before we get into our looking at those. www.vectorvest.com. Go to our main website. And I want you to be aware, I know you probably are, but products, pricing, education, events, and webcasts, just so that you know, in the U.S., we will be live in Los Angeles, California on September 23rd. You go to our main website, go to education, go down to events and webcasts. You can register right here. I will be there. Ray will be there. Rick will be there. And oh no. This is in the U.S. Me, Ray. I don't know who the third person is going to be there, but I'm going to be there for the Los Angeles event. And in Canada on September 16th, we will be live in Toronto, Ontario. That way will be Ray, me, Rick, and Stan Heller. All right, so that's just to let you know that we have 2 live events coming up for the month of September. Again, September 16th in Canada and September 23rd in Los Angeles, California. You can register, go right here and you can register. Oh, yeah, and we got one coming up. They already put it up for October 14th in Atlanta. I'll be there as well. All right, so anyone who's down in hot Atlanta, we will be there October 14th live in Atlanta. And yep, that's it. I just wanted to tell you that. Steve says he's going to LA for the. Oh, is he? All right, so Steve may be with me in LA. That might be the third person. All right, so I just wanted to let you know what was going on there-wise. All right, let's go look at our list real quick. Let's go my picks from last week. Let's start with mine. Glenn is getting lots of use out of the VV jet. Wish we had the VV jet. Believe me, I wish we did. All right, let's go back 1 week. Let's see what I would have been on. CRS, what was that on? Oh, the steel. I was bullish on that. Let's go see what I would have been bullish on. I've been bullish on homes. I'm going to take XLY. I think that was a home builder. Yeah, real estate. Bank D, I would have been bullish on. Tesla Q, I would have been bullish on. Sox S, I would have been bullish on. I think. No, I'm going to take that off because there was 3 things. That was for consumer stuff, consumer spending. Nope, I wasn't bullish on that. But I was bullish on the homes, on Bank D, bullish on Tesla Qs to go down, and for Sox. Everything else I was not bullish on. All right, let's quick test those, see if I made some money. Quick test. Bada boom, bada bing. Oh, man, I almost cussed. I almost did cuss. Sox S got beat up. Bank D did make, that was the only one that made money. Tesla Qs, didn't make money. Man, that sucks. I really almost cussed. I really did. Ooh-wee. That would have been bad. All right. And my picks for this week, we already went through. Wow, my computer's moving so slow. LNG, I'm bullish on. Synopsis, I think I'm bullish on everything in my list this week. I think I'm bullish on everything in my list this week. So we'll see how it works out. Let's go look at Ryan's picks for last week. Let's go take him back to...
Nvidia was bullish.
Okay.
TJ Maxx was bullish. Oil's bullish. Apple bullish. Yeah, I was bullish on all. I was bullish on Apple because they're expanding manufacturing in India, if I remember correctly. So that make it easy. Let's do
all right, you ready?
Quick test just got here. Yep.
Look at that. Ryan stocks. All of his stocks made money, buddy. Way to go.
100% winner.
Give you some claps there. Let me give you some
Do I get
cheering.
a bug?
Let me give you some air horn.
There we go.
That was good. That was really good. All of his picks made money last week. Way to go, bro. All right. And let's go to your picks for this week. Let me know where you stand.
See, SMCI, Nvidia.
These are the 2 that you're probably bearish on, right?
Correct. And everything else, they're contras. Yeah, everything else would be bullish.
All right. There we go. Going into next week. All right. Let's go into customer picks last week. Let's see what you guys did. See if you're any good. Let's go back 1 week.
They had good stocks there.
They did,
last week.
but let's go see if they made any money.
That's the important part.
Nope. I'm gonna push a car crash. But it wasn't. Which was what hurt them? Fang D, Tech, Drugs, Burlington, Yang. Interesting. Yang lost over the week. I'm bullish on Yang. Interesting. C Electric. That was probably Energy. I don't know why we had it in the list, but it was there. That's right. Asa said, "You go, Ryan." That's right. Look at that. You go, Ryan.
Thanks, Asa.
There you go, man. All right, and your stocks for this week, we already looked at. Oh, that was the customer picks this week. I already got a couple of them here. SMCI. I need 6 stocks. TK, Ryan, call off 6 stocks. You call them off. 6 stocks.
All right, type in symbols, and when I see them in the chat box, I will call them off to Glenn. We got WFRD.
That's 1.
YPF.
2.
HE.
3.
Google. GOOGL.
4. Son of a gun.
Nvax.
Hold on.
GOOGL. Nvax.
And that's from last night.
ALB.
AL.
B as in boy.
Okay.
Mod. MOD.
That makes 10. All right, there's my 10 stocks. RX. I like that play, William, from last night. That was my speculative pharma pick. Keep your eyes on that, folks. That's a pharma that's going to be looking at AI. It's linking up with Nvidia, actually. It's linking up with Nvidia for AI to go after stuff. That's going to be a very interesting play. We'll see how that works out. All right, so this week, for the purposes of time, you got 6 buys.
You do the top 5. You do the bottom 5.
Go do it. Quick. Go handle it. Does he have access?
All right, we got Mod.
Hold on, he's going to give you control. There you go.
All right, I got control. All right, we got Mod here. That is undervalued. That's a good thing. Nice updated day. Fundamentally sound with RVRS above 1. Trending, uptrend right now. Got the buy rating. Everything looks good there. We got Weatherford here. Also another undervalued stock. Up again today, 0.25%. Fundamentally, RS is below 1. So everything's good here. Just remember, you're taking on a little bit more risk with the RS below 1. SMCI, that's a crowd favorite. Up $21 today, undervalued compared to 405. Strong ratings across the board, RVRSRT. We got the buy rating, so I like that one. YPF, not familiar with the company, but it is undervalued. It's up again today. Ratings all above 1 here. Got the buy rating, so that looks good. Out of the top 5, only 1 stock down. That's TK. It is undervalued. This whole list is undervalued. Good job, team. Down day today. Again, just the only thing weak here is the RS or the safety rating. So most of these companies look really good. Just remember Weatherford and TK to be a little bit more cautious of, because that RS is below 1. But otherwise, nice update for these stocks.
Hey, go graph them real quick. I'll bring up the graph for you just because I like you like a brother. Put on a 3-month graph. All right, go ahead. You might want to put some other stuff on there. I need to save a layout for you that you'd like to use. I can do that.
I can use this one for now. So here we got 4 strong days. The buyers clearly take a charge here. Nice bodied candlesticks. 3 just crossed above the 8. Again, as I mentioned before, it is undervalued. So I really like that. Let's see here. The MACD line did cross below, so from a technical aspect. It is in a bearish trend by these measurements. However, if we can take out this prior high here and create a new swing high, I would be much more comfortable getting into this position.
Drew says MOD does cooling systems for quantum computing. That could be a very interesting play. Did a video on quantum computing not too long. Okay, next one.
Weatherford here. Looks like this one's starting to be in a little bit of a channel, moving sideways over the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Undervalued, do like that. The 3 and the 8 day are so close together. It's hard to find, momentum here. I'd like to see either swing high or swing low to see some kind of breakout to get a sense of direction. Or if you were going to be bullish on this position, you just put it at a tight stop.
Coming forth to carry me home. Okay, go ahead, keep going.
Doing some singing. RSI around 60, so we still got upside potential. The MACD line's, still telling us a bearish pattern right now. So yeah, want to see more of a breakout on that one. SMCI here, it's getting close to filling this gap. Once it gets above this red candlestick here, it's going to be tempted to fill the gap. But look at today's, a little bit of selling pressure there. With today, you got a little bit of a top wick here. But if we can enter this gap, fill that gap, that would be my target price. And if you look here, look at the MACD line starting to converge closer to that signal line. The histogram bars are shrinking right now. And even the RSI coming off oversold levels starting to rise right now. So this actually looks like a good play. If we can get some green lights or some confirmation in the market, again, SMCI, this is really going to be, it's going to come down to what happens with Nvidia over the next 24 hours. I think that'll have a big part to say. So let's see here. We got YPF. This one here is just channeling to the side, not doing a whole lot. So if you had some time, throw some channels here, upper channel, lower channel, somewhere around here. I'd like to see a breakout out of this channel, but more bullish than anything, just because it's undervalued right now. RSI starting to creep up, coming off those bottoming levels. And look at the MACD line. That has converged to the signal line. Your screen's even smaller on my screen, so I can't really see which one's ahead. But I do see that histogram bar. Looks like it did go positive.
It looks like it's a little positive.
I'm
looking.
So yeah, I do like that one as well.
Oops.
Again, just wait to see what the market's doing. We got yellow lights right now. All right, we got another undervalued stock here. We got TK in the group. Look at this, breaking out of this swing high here. Broke above this one, broke above this one. One thing I don't like about it is got this tall upper wick here. However, it looks like we got a little hammer here.
Hanging man.
Yep. So let's see if we get some confirmation from there. But the 3 is above the 8-day right now. I would like to see a little bit price action go to the upside just to get some confirmation, just because of that top wick, that selling pressure. But from a technical aspect, RSI showing that it is overbought right now, so you could potentially get a better deal if you have a little bit of patience. However, what I do like, MACD line is diverging away from that signal line, and the histogram bars are showing that currently in a bullish trend.
All right. Yeah. Good deal. All right, real quick. John says, Glenn, if today was the beginning of an up move, wouldn't you expect lots of short covering? Yes, I would. Remember, today is all about Nvidia. So I go back, Stephanie says, SMCI, we're waiting for Nvidia's results. Yes, Nvidia is what's driving this market higher today. When the anticipation of the earnings is what's driving this market higher. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Type it in the room. Does everybody understand that?
And if you just got to the room recently, in the beginning, we did mention I'm doing a live stream on Nvidia's earnings this afternoon. Starts at 4:45. The earnings call is supposed to start at 5 p.m. We'll see if they're if they're on time. So we'll actually listen to the earnings call live, depending on what they're saying and depending on what VB Nation is feeling. We may end that call early or listen to it longer. We'll kind of go from there.
All right. So I'm going to look at the last 5. Of course, my 5 at the bottom suck because they all are like overvalued, undervalued, fairly valued, overvalued. Sigh. What's the word in Jackson Hole? We won't know that until Friday. Nvidia has about a plus negative 22-point expected move according to options. Again, we'll see. And you notice the options have it going either way because they don't know. Hi, Todd. All right, so we heard Todd across the hall because my door is wide open because Joey never freaking closed my door today. I know it's hot in here, but don't take off all your clothes. I am getting so
It's hot in here, too.
All right. Anyway, Glenn is bloviating. Glenn is bloviating. All right. Anyway, here's the bottom 5. One stock has got an RV above 1. That's Albemarle. 2 stocks, remember, this is an ETF. 2 stocks have RSs above 1. These are my problem children. But Albemarle, what is Albemarle? What is Albemarle? Chemical specialty. What does Albemarle do? Evidently, I'm sort of kind of liking it. Even though it's a sell recommendation, I sort of got a liking to it. Undervalued, relative value above 1, relative safety 1. What's hurting it is that its RT is below. It's lithium. Thank you, Fitz. I like the play. I just don't think it's the right time.
Glenn,
what?
I pulled up Albemarle. Guess where they're based out of?
Where?
Charlotte.
Are they really, as in Albemarle? As in really Albemarle?
Yeah, Albemarle Corporation, headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina, global specialty chemicals company with leading positions in lithium, bromine, and refining catalysts.
Ta-da! All right.
I'll root for the home team.
You know something? Again, I like that it's undervalued, but maybe lithium is, something. Hold on. I want to view the stocks.
See the industry?
I'm going to view the stocks in that industry. All right. I'm doing that for a reason.
It's at the top.
Albemarle is right at the top. Not a bad play by VST. It's right at the top, and it's a sell. Sort this by earnings growth rate. I bet you're still going to be at the top or in the top 3. So from a lithium play, look at that. It's not a bad play. It's not a bad play, except for the lithium. Let's do this. Let's go view the industry graph. Let's go look at the whole industry graph. And that could be why the RT is where it is. Let's go look at the industry graph. This computer's moving so slow, Joey. And I don't even have 17,000 whatchamacallits open. All right. I just want somebody to know that somebody else besides me sees this. When it comes time, look at that. Oh, hold on. Oh, that's chemical specialty. That's not lithium itself. That whole industry is getting beaten up. Even though it's number 1 in the industry is getting beaten up. I thought it was just lithium, but it's not. It plays in lithium. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I like the play, just not the right time to play it. SOX L. You know something? I don't know if I'm ready to pull the trigger on SOX L just quite yet. View the stock graph.
I mean, it's either going to work out really well
or it's not.
Or not so.
And here it is, coming off the 3 and the 8, just crossing today. Coming off this level of support. Oh, this has got fibs on here. Whoever looked at this, last time I looked at it, I have fibs on here. The MACD hasn't crossed yet. It's about to. It's getting. I don't know if I'm ready to play SOX L. It all depends on what happens with Nvidia. Use the VectorVest quantum computer. Oh Lord! Ever since I did that quantum video, somebody said they were long term on Neo. Why? Why? You know that this is a crowded space, a crowded EV space. Neo and Boyd are the 2 main ones outside of XPeng in China putting out the cars. Boyd is beating everybody's butt. Let's go look at it. It's fundamentally way overvalued. Fundamentally, no. Are they making money yet? No. Somebody said they're long term on Neo. Why? You do realize it's the last stock in the list. Let's go it's the last stock in the list for a reason. Put on a 6-month graph. No. Put on a 1-year graph. Long term, why? Is that a 1-year graph? Why? There's a 5-year graph. There's nothing. Now I'm going to go look at the chat. Who said that? I'm finna call you out. Who said that? That they were long term on Neo. I can't freaking find it. Maybe they took it away.
They said Albemarle mines in Chile.
Then maybe there's Albemarle mines. Are there mines? Oh, maybe they do mine in Chile. All right. I don't know. Oh, look at this. News about the battery swap could really move this stock. I did videos on it, and evidently that stuff didn't come out good. There was my line in the sand, and there's the hammer. I put a whole bunch of stuff on this. Didn't work out so good. I tried to be bullish on Neo.
Well, that line in the sand would have kept you out from losing a lot more money.
That's true. I tried to be bullish on Neo back here. I tried to be bullish on Neo back here, and look at it now. put Neo back in the Matrix. I agree with that. Even somebody in here said that they were long term on Neo. I can't find the chat. But somebody said they were long term on Neo, and I was like, why? I'm looking at this. I can't find it. Sigh. All right. Put us on the last dealing. Oh, that was all their stocks. We'll see how they work out next year. Next week.
Next
Like
year.
we both laying down. Yeah. My back is killing me. My head hurts. My neck, my back.
No.
I'm waiting for this market to crack on Nvidia earnings. Anyway, I don't know where that just came from. I don't know how many of y'all caught that reference. I'll see. I can see how many of you would be kind of hoodish if you caught that reference. That's all we got today. If you haven't already, hit the like button. If you like the content, Ryan had to pick me up today. I wasn't feeling too good. You did a good job. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that.
Corey, hope you feel better.
Me too. I think I'm going to go home after this. I'm going to go home. My head hurts.
You're not going to stick around and hang out with me and Joey and do another live stream?
Y'all are you staying here? Are you going home? Yeah. He's going to do it from home.
Oh, okay.
All right. Kind of hoodish. Yeah, I talked about neck and back. Nobody admitted that they knew. So maybe they ain't got some hoodish folk up in here.
We got golf swing video? Question mark.
Yeah. All right. Who signed us off last week?
I think it was me.
All right, then I'm going to sign us off this week. Joey is heading out to golf. You're not going. Why does everybody think you play golf? You can't play a lick of freaking golf.
I'm a good golfer.
You're a good gopher. You can go get me a soda while we're on the golf course.
What's your handicap, Joey?
2,000. What's your handicap, Joey? 7 what? 7 what? 7 per hole? 7 per hole? Talk about some freaking
At least 7 on the first
7
nine.
per hole. Holy smokes. Asa got it. All right. Glenn's golf swing. I can play better golf than both of these two together. All right. So that's right. Do you play golf, Ryan?
I haven't played golf in years.
Yeah, that's right. So I can play better than both of them.
I got more enjoyment just out of driving the golf
there
cart
you go.
than anything.
And drinking and driving the golf course. All right.
Drinking and driving.
All right. All right. So we'll see you next week. Folks, don't forget, 4:45 today, Ryan is going to be doing the live earnings call for Nvidia. Big news today is what's moving the market. Be with him today as he walks you through the call. All right.
Definitely check it out.
How's that again? The link is in the chat. All right, the link is in the chat. All right, we got to go. Is the link for the live call? The link is in the chat.
Oh, Conrad's at 4:45, and the link will be in the chat.
All right, make sure. Huh? Your computer's slow too?
All right, there goes the link. It was just posted again in the chat.
All right. So we're out of here, folks. Imagine if Nvidia sold bacon. Ooh-wee. That'd be good. I hope I feel good too. I got to go to the doctor tomorrow about this back again. I don't know. Something's wrong. I might need a backiotomy. Might. All right, folks. Adios. Arrivederci. Ciao. Au revoir. Sayonara. Aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii, especially in Maui. Still praying for you guys over there. Bom dia. Salam. Shalom. Namaste. Yasu. Train. Until the next time, folks. See ya.
We're out.